Alright guys, good afternoon. It is 4:20 p.m. on Tuesday, October 24th, 2017. And that's 4:20 p.m. New York time. Hope everybody's doing well, having a good week. Just a brief video here. This will be pretty short on some news tonight to really definitely keep an eye out for. It's the Australian dollar, their CPI quarter over quarter, and the trim mean number, which is basically like the core number. So they are expecting a pretty big increase to 0.8% versus the previous number, which was 0.2%. Again, this is quarter over quarter, so this is a longer time frame, and they're expecting the trim to remain the same. So the Australian dollar has been under some pressure as of lately. So any kind of a miss on this, if it comes in at 0.8, I wouldn't expect to, see too much. But if this really disappoints, we could see some good selling of the Australian dollar. So it's important news. I mean, again, it's an inflation number. It's big with any currency. CPI is always a big deal. But again, you're talking about a smaller economy like this. They're going to be sensitive to this kind of stuff. So I would definitely keep an eye out for this tonight, especially if you're in any Aussie trades right now. So just a quick look at a couple of pairs. So this is the pound Aussie, and I am on the, let's see here. You can, I'm just looking at patterns now. This is about the 2-hour chart. So I'm looking at this move down here as potentially a correction to this uptrend. So so I'm kind of looking at this as I'm going to be waiting. I mean, we're about a little over 4 hours till this news comes out. I'm going to see where this is at. If this continues to correct to the upside here going into the news, I'd expect to see this push down again. However, if in the next 4 hours, which this is a 30-minute chart, so it's certainly possible that we see this go down and maybe retest this low or something like that, then I would expect that this will go up. The British pound has been pretty supported lately, so my bias on the pound is somewhat bullish. Although with Brexit and everything, who knows? But basically, I'm looking at this as basically a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're correcting down now. So anything to about maybe this level, I would consider a correction to this uptrend. So, I mean, the news could come out positive for the Aussie, and we could see this go down, but I wouldn't expect it to go much further than this. That could be a bottom. So that's another possibility. You get, semi-positive news, maybe headline news is good, and we see the Aussie initially strengthen, come down, and then the market re-looks at the data a little closer, and we see it sell off. So that's another possibility to keep an eye out for. Kind of depends where this is at when the news comes out, but that's my early thought on it. Let's see here. Let's see here. We've also got, these ones I looked at here. Aussie dollar. So this is one where maybe it's a little different. So on Aussie dollar, I had this labeled as 1, 2, 3. This is 4, and then we're going to end the wave 5 down, and then see this go up. So this is kind of the opposite of the pound Aussie. However, this is a 12-hour chart I was just looking at right here. So again, this is what I'm talking about, where maybe the headline news is initially positive, and then it continues down, because I think this has more downside to go. Although this also could be an ABC. Correction to this move up. So we're talking about 85 pips there, and this is definitely more than that. Yeah, this is 106. So I'm looking at this more like a wave 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then down. So going into the news, we'll see where this is at. If this is correcting up, I'd expect again that it would be negative for the Aussie, and we continue down. Okay, but but I'm not sure how long that will last, because if this is a trend, we'll get down to somewhere around this area where this red line is, and that's about it. But that's about 50 pips or so. So we'll have to see where this is at when the news comes out. I'm thinking this has a little bit more downside to go. So that would fit in line. And Aussie Canadian, the Canadian's been really weak lately, so after last week, but this looks like a correction on the Aussie Canadian. It's not my favorite pair to trade, but this does look pretty corrective here on this move up. So I would expect, again, if this is up here when the news comes out, to see the Aussie Canadian go down. And then lastly, Euro Aussie, and again, I have this labeled right now as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, I have this as 1, 2, 3, and that this little part here is a wave 4. But whether it's part of this 3 or whether it's the overall 4, it's not really clear yet. We need to draw this out. Now, again, this is a 30-minute chart, and so certainly we're going to paint, another 8 candles here. So depending where this is at. If it's anywhere down in this area at the time the news comes out, and these end up being about equal length, then I would say that this will strengthen. And again, that would meet my my objective is in terms of the weakening of the euro, of the Aussie. So that's about 25 pips. And then if we come back down here, again, it's about the same number of pips. So if we kind of retest this low, as long as we don't really take out this area prior to the news, then I would say this probably will bounce up again. So it may not be a real strong move either way, guys. We may just see a short-term move, and that can happen sometimes unless we get a really big deviation. But again, my initial take on it is that it'll be negative for the Australian dollar, although again there could be some initial positive on some headline, but then second look might push it down, or it might just come out negative if both of these come out red. Then obviously that will push it down immediately. So alright, so that's kind of how it looks right now, guys. So maybe we'll make a follow-up later, but I just want to get this out there before the news came out. So I hope you have a good rest of the day, good evening, good morning, wherever you are, and trade safe, and we'll talk to you soon.